Before you watch the Patrick Step Up video, please get these details. First off, the undercut. You don't have to do the Patrick Step Up in this workout. You can do just the reverse out knee pain step. The better you get at that, the easier it becomes to do the Patrick Step Up. Now, the lowest entrance point to the Patrick Step Up itself is no step, no weight, 4 sets of 10 each side, followed by a set of 50 each side with no breaks. You're gonna see this in the video. Then the standard becomes working your way up to a 6-inch box, doing 5 sets of 10 at body weight, 25%, 50, 75, and finally 100% of body weight with short breaks between each leg once the weight starts getting heavy. Now, this can stay at just body weight, then these weights can gradually progress. This is what you eventually wanna work up to. It's important that you send in your form each time and that you get perfect form at a given height and weight before progressing. And on that 5th set, let's say a hypothetical workout, say you're using a 4-inch box, you did body weight, then you had 5-pound dumbbells, then you went bar, then you put 5 each side of the bar, and now the 5th set, you're doing 10 each side of the bar. I only want you doing 5 sets, so if on that 5th set, if you have a bar and 10 pounds on each side, I want you then going to perfect form rep failure, meaning maybe you get 22 reps at that weight. So whatever you pain-free work up to on that 5th set, you then take to perfect form repetition failure, meaning you don't continue once you can't just get up with perfect form. That's how you create the muscular change, so then you can eventually work to having 100% of your weight on back for 10 reps, at which point you start working toward the world-class number if you're in a sport that requires world-class knees, because the standard will be enough protection for most people. And you just do sets of 5 now, so similar concept, do 7 sets of 5, starting with body weight and so on, and then on that 7th set, you'll again go to perfect form rep failure. Maybe you work up to 120% of your weight, but you get 8 reps. Well, now you produced enough change, and eventually that would become 150% on your back for 5 reps, at which point I think it's best to just maintain that and keep bringing up your other numbers. Once they're all at world class, well, we can look at where to go from there. So now let's take a look at everything I just talked about. Welcome to the Patrick Step Up. What this really means is a reverse step up, and you only do this after you're warm from the reverse out knee pain step. So just know, before you even get into this, the better you get the reverse out knee pain step, the more you'll get out of this. When you have no equipment whatsoever, you can still reach a sort of standard. You're gonna do 4 sets of 10 where you balance on one leg and you simply reach out as far as you can without this heel coming up, and then you strengthen to the top. Slow down, explode up. But as you can see, you could start this really small. So you only go to where there's no pain at all. That's the beauty of it. You reach as far as there's no pain. You do 10 reps, then you switch legs, 10 reps. Now, when you're in a gym, you would start with your first set without weight and you would add weight. In this case, we're not doing that, so we don't need rest. So you'll do 10 each side. So 4 sets of 10 warming up. So ideally, you're going to the limit of that ankle mobility, and you would do your 4 sets of 10, getting it warmed up. Now on the 5th set, since we haven't worked up in weight like we'll do with a gym, on the 5th set, I found that what creates really just as much difficulty as reaching the standard in terms of weight is 50 reps in a row. So you've done 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, you've done your 4 sets of 10 each side, now you're going for a set of 50, going as far as you can. Now maybe that's only here, and maybe you start that set of 50 far out, and it's burning so much and you come back in. So you're using the science of higher reps, which does work. It doesn't work forever, but I would say you could get a good 12 weeks. I think you could get a 12-week transformation just by working up to your set of 50 on each side. And so your standard would be doing 50 straight reps on that 5th set at the limit of your ankle mobility. It's that simple. Even though there's no weights and stuff, you should still send us a form video from that side angle. You'll send your last 3 reps of your last set so we can see it. And now we're gonna head into a commercial gym and look at what the simplest way is to set up for Patrick Step Up from a commercial gym. All right, Patrick Step Up in a gym. Gonna do my best to be respectful of the gym area here, but you've got aerobic steps in almost every gym. These add 2 inches, and then this actually adds about 4 inches on top. So we wanna use about 6 inches for the box. There's obviously some stuff here, so this will create a good surface. 6 inches is the ideal that we want to use, and then step down only to that heel and up. So you would do your first set of 10 warm-up sets on each leg. No break is really needed. Then ideally, you would duck under a bar, and then you'd get your next 10. So notice I'm controlling down, resting only on the heel, strengthening up, and then I'm not balancing with the other leg at the top. So you do your 10 each leg. Again, not really any break is needed yet because we haven't started loading up. And if you're not comfortable jumping to a bar, you can totally hold dumbbells at your sides and work up that way. So this represents about a quarter of my weight. So if I'm doing 5 sets and I'm trying to hit a standard of my body weight, I can think no weight on the first set, 25 on the second, 50% on the third. So if I add a 25 pounder here, this will make it 95. I'm about $180, so it's about half my weight. Even as you're watching this, I'm not gonna mention anything that's like too shocking. So if you're crunched for time, you can kind of scroll through and see as I add weight. Now that some weight's getting on the bar though, I would suggest when you finish your 10 reps on one leg, I would suggest resting. Once there starts getting some weight on the bar, start resting a minute. So do a leg, rest a minute, then do the other leg. And then add weight. That way you can really focus on each leg. And if you're having trouble on a 6-inch box, you can totally do less height. So you can follow the same formula. You can still work up in weight on a lower box. Now from there, now for my 4th set of 10. I would go for 75% body weight. And again, this is the standard that you're working up to. This doesn't mean you have to use these weights. This is what you're going for long term to be protected. For you, it may be bar, then 5s each side, then 10s each side. So just showing you a couple each side. That control down is so important. All right, and then again, in real sets, I would be resting between sides. It's a little bit more than I weigh, but you'll get the point, which is the standard is being able to comfortably, pain-free handle your own body weight on your back. So I'll get a couple reps here, and then I'll continue showing you to world class. Control, so there's no pain at all in my knee. Controlling it, not using my bottom foot to push off, not having to touch the box at the top. And notice I'm starting on my right leg. So my legs have evened out now, but my left leg is like my jumping leg. So this left leg actually was stronger. It's since evened out. But if you know that you're in a sport where one leg is prone to get better than the other, you would start on that leg. And then last thing to understand here is once you hit the standard, you're gonna switch from the whole 5 sets of 10. Now you don't have a set number of sets, but you're gonna only do sets of 5. So when I'm doing this exercise now, since I can do the standard, I actually only do sets of 5. I build up the same way. I don't jump more than 25% at a time, but then I'm trying to work towards world class. So I'll jump ahead here and I'll show you a few reps where I'm gonna do 150% of my weight. That is world class. I don't advise going heavier or higher than that. There's a lot of other exercises to master, and I would rather see you continue to get more control at 150% rather than go heavier or higher. So I'll get a set of 5 here. And then remember, even once you start getting anywhere up there in weight, you would rest between sides. So that is how you use the most common thing in the gym, the aerobic step. If you put 2 under, you've got your 6-inch, but you don't even have to use them. You can start lower. You do your 5 sets of 10, working up, never jumping more than 25%. And once you hit the standard of body weight on back for 10, then you redo your reps. Now it's only sets of 5, and it'll take probably more than 5 sets, and you'll work toward a long-term world-class number of 150% on back. Remember to always reach out to me directly once you hit a standard to know if it's even worth it for your sport and goals to go toward world class. And always, always, always send your last 3 reps of that last set, so your heaviest set, so we can watch it right through the app and coach you exactly like if we were in person. So this exercise is exactly the same at ATG when you do your step-ups. I did want to show you these bad boys. These are DC blocks, and these things we've had in here for years, and I mean not even an ounce of damage, and you can see they're 2 inches each, so it creates a really, really solid platform. And you can see here I even got some traction tape from Home Depot. So you're talking about, often NFL athletes who weigh over 300 pounds and then are doing as much as 450 pounds on their back, so 750 pounds. I mean, these things are indestructible. So yes, they're not cheap. You're not gonna find them in regular gyms like you will the aerobic steps, but I really like you to know for every single exercise, if you wanna sort of build out your own ATG, exactly what we use. And this is it for the step up, but there's nothing different we do here. Bars, plates, and DC blocks.